Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the First Pitch Podcast on Pitcher List. My name is Trevor Hooth. Happy to have you here with me today. Full slate of games. Let's jump right in, see what's going on. In the news, Ryan Mountcastle set to miss 8 to 12 weeks with a hamstring strain. He was already put on the IL, but now we have a little bit more of a timetable. Orioles put him on the IL when Kobe Mayo was recalled. Mountcastle set to miss 8 to 12 weeks. Cooper Hummel returns to the Astros on a minor league deal after moving on from his most recent team. In other news, Chris Stratton signs a major league deal with the Dodgers, so he will be joining Los Angeles. Cleveland selected Dom Nunez as a catcher after putting Austin Hedges on the 7-day concussion injured list. They also transferred Andrew Walters to the 60-day IL to make room for Don Nunez on the 40-man roster. Walters, of course, a hyped-up relief prospect. Sad to see him go on the IL for that long. The Athletics have designated Drew Avans for assignment. He was up for just a little bit. They recalled Seth Brown, who's been hitting really well at the AAA level. So I guess he can hit AAA pitching. We'll see what he does with his second chance. He was sent down just a few weeks ago. They also call up Johnny Pareda because Shea Langoliers is officially on the IL. He looked to hurt something on his left side yesterday, and he's on the IL now. Corbin Burns, unfortunate news for him. He's going to undergo Tommy John surgery, will be out for at least a year. I saw something that said that his timetable is 12 months. I mean, I know that's roughly the thought when it comes to Tommy John, but that is the number that I have seen put towards his injury. So he will be out for a while, of course, miss the rest of this season and into next season as well. The Tigers DFA'd Akil Baddoo. They selected Jamie Jones, and Jones went deep in his first game with the Tigers. In yesterday's action, Akil Baddoo is now off the 40-man roster. I mentioned yesterday that Shane Bieber had been shut down. Well, that was a snag in his rehab, and he is going to be shut down until at least mid next week. They are going to reevaluate then, so comeback trail is going to be halted for just a little bit longer. We'll see what happens. Good news for the Reds. Christian Encarnacion Strand is back from the IL. He's been hitting pretty well last I saw in his rehab assignment. They designate Austin Wins to make room for Encarnacion Strand. Mentioned this yesterday. White Sox have officially made the move to add Kyle Teal to their roster. Corey Lee was the one who was optioned, and Ryan Cusick has been DFA'd. He was just recently acquired by the White Sox after just recently really being acquired by the Tigers. So he's back in DFA limbo. But the bigger news here, the White Sox are going to go with their catching tandem of the future, Edgar Caro and Kyle Teal. Teal had a solid day in his first appearance, walked twice, and got a hit, going 1 for 2. A few more pieces of news to talk about here. Bryce Harper considered day-to-day with wrist soreness. Shouldn't wind up on an IL stint, but certainly something to monitor in case it does. Again, considered day-to-day with wrist soreness, right wrist soreness to be more specific. The Orioles say that Jordan Westburg is likely to be back early next week, not this weekend. He is believed to be ahead of Gary Sanchez and Tyler O'Neill in terms of who will return first. That is likely to be Jordan Westburg, according to the Orioles. And the last bit of news to talk about, the Braves say they do not have a set closer in mind. Rafael Iglesias may get some save opportunities. Craig Kimbrell, who was just called up, is going to fill any role after the fifth inning. So he might start getting some save opportunities as well. But the big news there, the Braves don't have a set closer in mind. So that's going to be more of a committee thing and definitely something to pay attention to. Taking a look at some of the highlights on the hitting side of things in yesterday's games, Ronnie Mauricio picked up his first hit since coming back. It was his third game. That hit was a double. Injuries, unfortunately, bringing him into the season late. Again, third game back in the majors, picks up his first hit of the season. Missed this on the news, but Rockies prospect Ryan Ritter made his debut, went 1 for 4 with a triple. So good for Ryan Ritter. Congratulations to him on his debut. And, of course, a triple is a great way to start. Manny Machado goes deep for the second game in a row for the Padres. He's got 9 home runs on the year and hitting .316. So Manny Machado having a fantastic year so far. Trevor Larnach, want to stop here for a minute. First of all, fantastic first name, if I do say so myself. But Trevor Larnach went deep again today, and he really has been very good, and I think a little bit underrated. Not as like a standout fantasy performer by any means, but just a really solid guy and playing better than it seems like he has at any point in his career. He's hitting 289 with 6 home runs over his last 30 games, hitting 260 on the year as 10 home runs total. But he's not, I mean, he's been hitting the ball really well. It seems like every game he's doing something. Obviously, he has some offers in there. The strikeouts aren't out of hand. I mean, he's having so far one of the better years of his career. So Trevor Larnach definitely putting some things together. It seems like not as much as Blue Jays Addison Barger. Oh my gosh, he has been on a tear lately. He homers again in his last 24 at bats, which spans 7 games. He has 5 home runs. That dude's power is showing through in a big, big way. Addison Barger, man, I had heard some things about him as a prospect. Was never really that in on him personally, but I was wrong. That man is hitting home runs like it's his job. Well, technically it is, and he's doing it. Matt Shaw, he for the Cubs, he is back up, has been back up for a little bit now, and he's off to a really good start in June, hitting 316. He added a double, and he's got a couple stolen bases in the month so far. 2 hits, making it in yesterday's games, making it 5 hits over the last 2 games. So he's approached kind of a hot streak to start this month after struggling in his first try at the big league level. Went down, came back up. Things are going a little bit better for him. On the other side of that card, Cubs versus Tigers, Torkelson hit another bomb, had a pair of hits. He's got 15 home runs on the year. And at this point, I think this is more than just a hot streak. This is more than just good luck. I mean, he is continually getting to his power. It seems like he slowed off a bit from his pace at the beginning of the season, but he is being pretty consistent. So it seems like Torkelson is going to be, 230, 240, and just kind of hitting tanks. And that's the Spencer Torkelson you're looking for again. Watch his walk rate. His walk rate is the thing that you want to pay attention to. If that starts to slip, that's when it might be time to start hitting that sell button. But for right now, he's doing great. Marcelo Meyer hit his first career home run. He's a few games into his major league career, and he launched one. Congratulations to him hitting it off Will Warren. Aaron Judge had 3 more hits, including a double in the game. And, he is still flirting with that 400 mark. He's hitting 397 on the year after the 3-hit performance in yesterday's game. Jazz Chisholm has 6 hits in his last 2 games. He had 3 more hits in yesterday's game, including a home run in his last 2 games. He had 2 steals in the game yesterday, too. So he has been on fire lately. He just recently came back from the injured list. Agustin Ramirez has slowed down from his torrid pace when he started. That would be impossible to keep up. He was at like 600, which putting balls out left and right. But he is still doing very well, still hitting the ball pretty hard. Went 3 for 4 with a home run. His 8th on the year. He's batting .253 on the season. That is Marlins catcher Agustin Ramirez. Now here is, if you've been listening to the First Pitch podcast on the weekends, here is my scheduled Junior Caminero mention recently. He had 2 doubles in the game. The dude is just on fire. Jackson Holiday also hitting well. In 5 at-bats, had 3 hits, including a home run and a double. And it's good to see him starting to break out, hitting around 260, still very young and, showing out. Here's the thing that I really want to talk about today. I am a noted Denzel Clark truther for the Athletics. I am a huge fan of Denzel Clark. We see him making all these great plays defensively. That's one thing he does. But then everybody says Denzel Clark needs to figure out how to hit. He needs to figure out how to hit. And I get it. He started off real bad. I mean, I think it was 19 at bats with 17 strikeouts. That's not great. I get that. But over his last 7 games, which is 24 at bats worth of sample, not a lot, but still, he's starting to figure it out a little bit. He's hitting .292 over his last 7, has 3 steals and a home run. And you know what? It seems like something is starting to happen now. The strikeouts are still present. He's got 11 strikeouts and 24 at bats, but he's cut down on them, obviously, from the 17 and 19 at bats pace. But he's starting to hit the ball, and it seems like he's starting to figure it out offensively. So probably warranted that the narrative is that he can't hit, but it seems like he's starting to, and that is something really good because he has loud tools. and he has the ability to be a star if he really can hit with consistency at the big league level. We'll see what happens. Things have been going really well lately, which is good to see. Taking a look at some of the pitching from yesterday's games, Bryce Miller continues to struggle, gave up 5 earned runs across 5 innings, only struck out 2. I believe this was his second start back from the IL, and still just hasn't been able to put it together. Cody Senga goes into Coors and comes out with 6 innings, 1 earned run, and 6 strikeouts, so good for Senga. It's always daunting to head into Coors. Sonny Gray with sunny skies in his outing. 6 1/3 shutout innings, no walks, 5 strikeouts. He's been just awesome this year for the Cardinals. Randy Vasquez, I mentioned he could be really good if he has his good stuff. Well, I mean, take it for what it's worth. 4.2 scoreless innings, and he struck out 2, walked 4 against the Brewers. Chad Patrick on the other side had 6 strikeouts over 6 innings, gave up 1 earned run. So not a bad pitching matchup. Pretty fun one, actually, and that's one that I definitely highlighted yesterday. So good to see Randy Vasquez. That you just want to see more whiffs from the guy. I mean, I remember his breaking ball being so nasty in the minors, and it's just not getting the whiffs at the big league level quite yet. We'll see what happens in his young career. Davis Martin for the White Sox, striking out 7 over 6 innings with a pair of earned runs against the Royals. For the Astros, Colton Gordon posted his best start. I believe he's got 5 starts on the year. Well, this one was by far the best. 5 innings, 5 strikeouts, 1 earned run, no walks. Ben Brown started the game, did not follow an opener rather, and he did well. It's good to see Ben Brown. If he can pull it together, man, Ben Brown's going to do something, and he has over his last couple starts. Ben Brown, 7 strikeouts over 7 innings with a pair of earned runs. Good to see that from him, especially because he's just had his struggles. So this is back-to-back solid outings for him. 1 out of relief, 1 as a starter. Next pitcher, question for you. Did you know Tarek Skubal is good? I know. I was not shocked either. 7.2 innings, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, no walks. That's 3 straight starts now without walking anybody. Dude just refuses to give away free passes. You love to see it. Michael Soroka, he's been looking really good. He spun a gem for the Nationals, 6 scoreless, 7 strikeouts, scattering just 2 hits and a walk in the start. I mean, he was absolutely dominant. Zach Littell was pretty solid, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts. And then taking a look at the game of the day that I picked from yesterday, it was Birdsong versus Schwellenbach. Well, Birdsong, 4.1 innings, 5 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, but he did walk 5. And on the other side of that, Spencer Schwellenbach went 6 innings, struck out 4, gave up 3 earned runs. So it was okay. You know, I picked better games in my life. And one reliever to mention, or a few good outings. I know Mason Miller had a solid outing, struck out 3 over an inning and 2/3. And Devin Williams got the save op, and he threw a scoreless inning and picked up his 7th save of the year, I believe. Anyway, Robert Suarez extended his save lead in the MLB. He has 20 saves now on the season, and that is over the closest to him by 2 saves. I think the next closest has 18. Threw a scoreless inning with a strikeout to get that. Those are our highlights from the games. When we come back, we're going to talk about some pitching targets for today, and we will do that in just a moment. I appreciate you joining me here on the First Pitch Podcast on Pitcher List. And welcome back to the First Pitch Podcast on Pitcher List. My name is Trevor Hooth. We've talked news, we've talked hitting, pitching, and now it is time to see what's coming up today, looking at some of the pitching matchups. One thing to note, Tyler Holton is scheduled to start for the Tigers with Cater Montero following him. So Cater Montero should still get bulk work, but Tyler Holton is the probable starter against the Cubs. Jacob deGrom going to be squaring off against the Nats, and he has been on quite the heater lately. 40 strikeouts and a 1.70 ERA over his last 42 1/3 innings. So looking for him to continue that against the Nats. Feel good about that one. Chris Paddock is a dude that I've been in on over the last few weeks. Oh my goodness. It's shocking to me every time I look at his stats. He's taken on the Toronto Blue Jays. Paddock has a 2.09 ERA over his last 43 innings, 30 strikeouts, 7 walks, and he's coming off of his 10 strikeout performance against the Mariners. So he's feeling it, and he is rolling, and that could be a fun one in Toronto. Ryan Weathers versus the Rays is another start that I'm watching pretty close. He has 22 strikeouts, 21 and 2/3 innings, and a 2.49 ERA since coming back from the injured list. He's going to be squaring off against Taj Bradley. That should be a pretty fun game. However, not the game of the day. The game of the day is the Astros versus the Guardians. Hunter Brown versus Gavin Williams. Hunter Brown he's Hunter Brown, so that's going to be pretty good. He's going to look to keep up his 1.83 ERA and 84 strikeouts in 73 and 2/3 innings on the year. Gavin Williams, though, he's been good lately. I'm not going to say really good or anything, but he's been good lately. A 3.51 ERA, 40 strikeouts in his last 33 innings. So he's been pretty freaking good. And it's good to see him maybe starting to figure it out. I mean, it's been a slow start to his career, but that could be a really good game to watch. Hunter Brown versus Gavin Williams. That is the game of the day. Make sure to check out Pitcher List so you can get Nick's top 100 pitchers, Scott's top 100 hitters, and of course, all of the reliever lists from Rick Graham. Make sure to sign up for PL Pro so you can talk to us in the Discord. We have a good time there. We talk all the time, baseball all day, every single day. It's a great place to be if you like talking baseball. With that, I will see you guys tomorrow. This has been another edition of the First Pitch Podcast on Pitcher List.